Even though the Mazda CX-9 is a few years old at this point, I don't think there is a better looking mainstream three-row crossover. It is simply beautiful, both outside and in. With fetching style, an indulgent interior, especially in signature trim, and scads of driving refinement, this family hauler should appeal to folks that appreciate the finer things in life, even if it's not the most practical choice. And we start with a few basics. This Mazda competes with the Honda Pilot, Kia Telluride, Toyota's new Highlander, and the Hyundai Palisade. Chevy's Traverse and the Ford Explorer are rivals as well. The CX-9 is offered in 4 models: Sport, Touring, Grand Touring, and Signature. Front or all-wheel drive is available, though 4-corner traction is standard on the top-shelf model. The list of no extra charge equipment is long and includes things like rain-sensing wipers, automatic high beams, LED head and tail lights, plus 3-zone climate control. The iActiveSense suite of advanced driver aids is also included, bringing to the table features like adaptive cruise control with stop-and-go functionality, automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assist, and blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert, plus a whole lot more. Naturally, top-of-the-line signature models are fitted with the most goodies. Napa leather, aluminum accents, and Santos rosewood trim propel this model's interior to luxury car heights. Beyond that, my tester is also fitted with heated second-row captain's chairs, 20-inch wheels, and a Bose sound system with 12 speakers. Among other things, there's also a 9-inch display, home to this vehicle's fiddly infotainment system. Not only is its user interface convoluted, but many of the icons look ridiculous. Did Mazda design this, or the folks at Play School? I really can't tell. Now that's a lot of stuff, but just one powertrain is offered in the CX-9. That keeps things simple, though perhaps a little underhood choice might be nice. In any event, this is what you get. It's a 2.5-liter dynamic pressure turbo. Now, what does that mean? Well, I'm glad I asked. Rather than going for big peak numbers, engineers tuned this force-fed 4-cylinder to deliver greater responsiveness. That gives you a Kilimanjaro of low and mid-range torque, exactly what you want in an outsized crossover like this. Delivering that punch is a restrictive exhaust outlet that increases the velocity of the exiting gases to spin the turbocharger up faster. Now, at higher RPM, a secondary valve will open to reduce that restriction and help build more turbo boost. Now, with direct fuel injection and other goodies, that gets you 250 horsepower with 320 pound-feet of torque if you put 93 octane in the tank. However, if you cheap out and go with just 87, those figures drop to 227 ponies and 310 torques. I forgot to close the hood, I'm sorry. Bolted to that engine is a 6-speed automatic transmission. In a world where 8, 9, and 10 ratio gearboxes are the norm, having only half a dozen forward ratios seems downright old-fashioned, kind of like, I don't know, churning your own butter or darning a pair of worn socks. Heck, who needs the internet for fun when you can roll a hoop with a stick? Hoop rolling. What is not outmoded, however, is the rest of the CX-9's interior. There's a luxury car precision to it, like every little detail was agonized over. The general design is elegant and clean, plus the materials used are impressively premium and the assembly quality is flawless. This Mazda's heated second-row buckets are not particularly comfortable, though a handy center console divides them, housing a pair of all-important USB ports. As for the third-row bench, it's tight on both head and legroom. My noggin gets jammed into the ceiling if I try to sit back there. As I always say, the third-row seat in vehicles like this is best left to the kids. But at least Mazda provides another pair of USB ports as a consolation prize. You may end up with a few dislocated neck vertebrae, but at least your phone will be charged so you can call a chiropractor. Despite being very similarly sized, the CX-9 offers significantly less storage capacity behind each row of seats than its major rivals. The Volkswagen Atlas's body, for instance, is more than an inch shorter overall, but it has nearly 26 additional cubic feet of maximum cargo volume. It's probably hard to tell in video, but this Mazda's interior always remains hushed, even at highway speeds. There's very little wind or road noise. The CX-9's ride is super refined. This crossover carries itself better than some so-called luxury vehicles. Impacts are effortlessly absorbed and digested. In a word, I would say this vehicle's ride quality is slick. There's no grittiness or vibration to it. Everything feels well lubricated and friction-free. This vehicle's driving dynamics are entirely competent, though piloting it is hardly a religious experience. There's nothing to complain about, but I did expect a little bit more from Mazda because this is a company that's always using fancy Japanese words to describe how engaging its vehicles are. This really doesn't feel any better than, say, a Highlander. I may have poked fun at the CX-9's transmission earlier, but really it was only in jest. This gearbox works pretty much flawlessly. It shifts smoothly and intelligently, dropping a ratio or two as needed, but really there's so much torque downshifts, well, they often aren't necessary. This vehicle's turbocharged engine is pleasant enough, delivering a wallop of low and mid-range torque as advertised, but even so, the CX-9 doesn't feel all that fast. Don't get me wrong, acceleration is quick enough, but it leaves me wanting for a little bit more. It does seem perhaps a step or two behind some of its rivals. Another downside, the engine feels a little bit gritty. The CX-9's ride quality may be creamy smooth, but its power plant buzzes more than I expected. No, it won't shake your dentures out, it won't make your palms go numb, but I think it could be a little better isolated. As for fuel economy, this model stickers at 20 miles per gallon city and 26 highway. Combined, those scores should result in an average of 23 mpg, which shouldn't completely destroy your budget. But the base price just might. A bare-bones CX-9 Sport starts at about 35 grand. That makes it a couple $1,000s more expensive than some of its major rivals, though a Toyota Highlander does come close, and the new Ford Explorer is a little bit more. The luxurious signature version I've been testing this week stickers for nearly $48,000, including destination charges. Is it worth that much? Well, you have to decide if style, a fancy interior, and loads of features are more important than versatility. This Mazda is certainly a passionate option in the three-row crossover segment, though it is not the most practical choice. What? You're still here? Don't you have anything better to do? If not, head on over to theroadshow.com, check out my full written review of the Mazda CX-9, and while you're there, we've got tons of other great content, from the latest automotive news to feature stories and so much more.